Hi there, it's Ivan here. Hope you're well. I'm pretty excited today because, well, I've been given a fantastic gift. In fact, we all have. We've all been given a brand new, shiny new year to do with exactly what we want. In fact, it's so new, it's practically not out of the box yet. No scuffs in the paintwork or anything. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. We want to know what you're going to do with your new year. But I mean, you've probably heard that a lot of doommongers out there are predicting a dreadful 2011. Job losses, hyperinflation, etc. That's probably true if you buy into it, but we've chosen not to buy into that. We're looking forward to our best year ever. So we'll go into that a little bit shortly, but want to understand what you're going to do with the present that's just been given you, this bright, shiny new year. What are you going to do with it? Have you had ideas about New Year's resolutions maybe? Or more to the point, set yourself goals. I mean, if you like, we used to be, we'd set ourselves New Year's resolutions and sort of by lunchtime on January the 1st we'd probably broken all of them. Because we'd forgotten what the root meaning of the word resolution is. It's resolve. It's resolving to do something, that something is so important you cannot do anything other than achieve that objective. So what we'll look at is, in a little bit more detail, is setting yourself goals. So if you really want to achieve something this year, make this year different from last year and the ones that went before that, better from those. If you want to progress, you really do have to set yourself a goal. Or goals, better still. So how do you go on how do you sort of set about deciding on a goal? Well, first you need to decide what it is that you're going to achieve, what it is that you really want to achieve. And it's got to be something big. It's got to be something big. It's not too airy-fairy, not too easy. It's got to be big. It's got to be something that excites you, that really sort of gets to you here. In fact, it's got to be so big and exciting that it might almost scare you. It might be so big it's scary to you. Once you've decided on what it is, you've then got to decide on why. So you've looked at what it is, you're now looking at why. Why is it? Why is this important to you? Why is this? What is it about this that's going to make you get up in the morning and work towards it? What is it that's going to keep you fired up right until you achieve it and makes you so certain you can't do anything other than achieve it? Then you look at how. Now, it's only when you have decided on the what and the why that you begin to consider how. And if you immediately know how, your goal probably isn't challenging enough. It's not big enough, it's not exciting enough, it's not going to stretch you enough. You could do a lot better. Okay, so once you've decided on what it is and why it is, let's look at the how. Well, you're not going to go from where you are today now to having achieved that goal. It's not going to be, one giant leap. There are going to be lots of steps in between. So what you need to do is break that down. What can I do today that is going to move me closer towards that goal than I was yesterday? And what can I do tomorrow that's going to move me closer still? And so on, and so on, and so on, right until you get it. There's no point sort of trying to eat the whole elephant in one go. Bite at a time, bite at a time. So just little steps along the way. So you can look at it and you can know that you're improving and you're progressing towards your goal every day. And then as you get closer to it, your goal is going to pull you and pull you and pull you towards it. Okay? So let's look at goals and how you can make sure that you've identified a proper goal. You've probably heard this before. People talk about SMART goals, and that's an acronym. And it's a lot of these letters are interchangeable, but let's go with the ones that I've worked with in the past. So SMART. It's got to be specific. It's got to be something you can point out and say, right, that's the thing. That's it. It's got to be measurable. It's got to be tangible in one way or another. So it's not enough to say that by the end of the year, I want to be richer. Okay, well, if you looked at your bank balance today and you got £100 in it or $100 in it or whatever it is, and you were walking out in the street and you saw a penny on the floor, you picked it up, you're Richard. Have you achieved your goal? Maybe not. So it's got to be measurable. You've got to say, right, okay, let's talk about weight loss. It's not enough to say I want to be a bit thinner. You've got to say, right, I want to get down to 75 kilos, say, or what would that be, 140 pounds or something, something 150 pounds or something of that sort. But it is measurable. It is a thing that you can point out and say, right, that is the specific number that I'm aiming for. It's got to be achievable. Now this trips some people up because they think, well, it's achievable. I want to do X, Y, Z. Oh, well, I've never done that in the past, so I can't do it. Doesn't mean have you got experience of achieving it. It means, is it achievable in as much as has somebody else achieved it? If there's a particular car you want to buy, does somebody else own that car? Well, yes, they do. Therefore, it's achievable. Hasn't been achievable to you so far, but it is achievable. Do you want to get a particular promotion at work? Is somebody else in that post at the moment? Yeah, well, therefore it's achievable. So you can go for it. Is it relevant? Well, only you can tell whether it's relevant. It's whether it's relevant to you, whether it moves you, whether it's something that you've seen somebody in the press that's achieved this thing and you thought, oh, that would be nice to have, but it isn't really relevant to your life as a whole. It's got to be relevant to you. And is it time-bound? Is it such that you can say, right, by September the 30th this year, I am going to have achieved such and such a thing. You are setting yourself a target by which target date by which you're going to achieve this objective. Okay, so it's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And if it meets all those 5 criteria, you know it's a proper goal and it's a goal you can work towards.